Hey, what's up, guys? This is YouTube Vids back with another video. Just some random topic of the day that I feel makes sense to discuss because of course, it's going to be a hot topic pretty soon, actually, depending upon what happens this weekend in the playoff games. Because then we can see some of these moves take place. So, one of the questions I want to pose to you guys, because I've also been thinking about it myself, and again, it's something that pretty much every daytime NFL related talk show has been talking about probably for like the past week or two is which which available coaching job would you consider to be the best coaching job to take right now? Would it be the Lions, the Giants, the Colts, the Cardinals, or the Titans? Of those five jobs, if you were looking to head coach one of these teams, which one of these teams would you pick? I want to take a quick second, or maybe probably a quick couple minutes, to be honest, to kind of break down. Let's go through the facts, or let me help you. Let me help guide you, or provide some information to help maybe help you make your decision. So let's consider the Lions. Let's start with the Lions first off. So what do the Lions have? They have Matt Stafford, who he's pretty much established himself as a pretty solid QB. For the most part, he's had some. What did he? I think he's gotten to the playoffs maybe once. I really don't remember, to be honest. I mean, if he did, I don't remember. I think Detroit's always been on the cusp of making the playoffs, and then they managed to just fall apart. So you have that, but they've been there. They've got the record. They've had the record to make it. It's just that they've always fallen apart at the end when it mattered the most. So that's one thing to consider. The Lions have, I guess, an okay defense. To be honest, I don't really know much about the Lions other than Matt Stafford. That's the only thing that stands out to me. So maybe that tells you all you need to know about the Lions. They have an okay running game, I guess, but again, I don't think they necessarily have anything fantastic going on up there running wise. So Matt Stafford, they pretty much have to rely on him to win games. They've got Golden Tate and Lewis. What was that guy's name? Jones Jr., Marvin Jones Jr., right? So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just don't feel like there's much there. But, maybe there is. But I guess it's just one thing to consider. So you got Matt Stafford if you were to take the Lions coaching job. And then, again, I don't know too much about the defense, so I can't really say who they have that would be considered a standout defensive player or players. So I guess you'd have to research that more. The Giants would be the next one. So from the Giants' perspective, you've got OBJ, you've got Eli Manning, you've got Eli Apple. You've got a pretty, and you've got you got a pretty stable. You got actually a pretty good defense. Honestly, coming into this season, the Giants were actually rated as one of the potential best defenses in the league just because of their speed, mainly. And I feel like there's a pretty good chance the Giants should be able to compete next year if they have the right head coach. Eli Manning, he's not too old yet. He can still go on there. He can still make passes. He still makes the right decisions. It's just a matter of whether or not his guys can go up and catch the ball. You do have to consider that you have Brandon Marshall kind of hanging around, and Brandon Marshall's old and probably they just need to cut him, man. He's done. But you've got at least some guys there. You definitely know you're going to have a chance with OBJ and Eli out there. They have no running game. They have no offensive line, or maybe a very bad offensive line. But you have a stout defense. You have a defense that could probably, make some waves. So that's kind of sums it up for the Giants. The next one is the Colts. So the Colts, you've got Andrew Luck, and you've got T.Y. Hilton. So, again, you got another combo set of guys who can keep you in the game. And you got Adam Vinatieri still. The guy is, seemingly ageless. Who knows if he still sticks around, but maybe he does. They don't really have much for defense. You've got Frank Gore as a halfback, and he's old. But that with T.Y. and Andrew Luck, if Andrew Luck is healthy and can play this coming season, that you've got a duo that you can start with. So you definitely need to fill up the defense. You would definitely need to fill up the halfback spot with someone, I think, more energetic, to have a good chance to at least stay in games. The next one, Cardinals. So Cardinals, as we know, Bruce Arians retired. You've got, and Carson Palmer retired. So they're in quite a predicament. You don't necessarily have your QB of the future sitting on the Cardinals right now. You've got a pretty decent defense, but I think for the most part, the guys you've got David Johnson as the halfback, so you've got an exciting halfback that can make some waves. They still got Adrian Peterson on their roster in theory, so I don't really know what you could expect to do with him. Maybe he becomes the backup. I don't know. But offensively, there's not really much. What you got, Larry Fitzgerald, of course. He's pretty much ageless and timeless. But how long does he have left? How much does he have left in the tank? Is he going to play another year? Who knows? But that, I think, depends on what kind of QB you can scrounge up somewhere. Maybe consider trying to get Sam Bradford from the Vikings. I don't know. Case Keenum, maybe. Who knows? And again, the Cardinals on defense, you still got Patrick Peterson, you've got Tyrann Mathieu. So I mean, you got some pieces there. But I don't know of their defense as being like one of the better defenses in the league. I think they're kind of average. So there's definitely some key spots you'd have to fill in on that team if you were to take over. And the last one would be the Tennessee Titans. So as we know, Mike Mularkey essentially they mutually agreed to part ways, so to speak, after the playoff loss to the Patriots. Personally, I just never thought that Tennessee had a good offense, and that's why they were the worst team to go up against New England, my opinion. But and you got, so obviously from Tennessee perspective, you got Marcus Mariota in there as your QB. You've got DeMarco Murray, who had an awesome year last year, and then he regressed drastically this year. You don't really have much to speak for in terms of receivers or anything like that I know of. You've got Eric Decker as as a receiver, I guess, but I mean, meh. He doesn't strike me as anyone who did anything last year or this season for them. So you're definitely going to have some spots you're going to have to fill in. Defensively, they seem like they were pretty strong, or they could be pretty strong if you have a defensive-minded coach. But offensively is where the focus needs to be for that team. So definitely still some spots to fill in. You have to decide whether or not DeMarco Murray is your guy that you want to keep for the future. You have to figure out if there's anything you might want to do on defense. But definitely offensively, there needs to be some improvement. So that's kind of my general recap of the teams and what I know about the team. So, let me know in the comments below, guys, if you think that, if there's any other feedback you have regarding these teams and maybe some other holes that you think they might need to fill, or if you don't agree with my assessment, that's perfectly fine. We can agree on that or agree to disagree. Just let me know. And put in the comments, guys, who do you think, which team of those 5 teams, again, Lions, Giants, Colts, Cardinals, and Titans, which of those 5 teams would you like to be head coach of?